Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Glenn Davis Stadium on the campus of Bonita High School here in Verne, California. It's the hometown Bonita Bearcats taking on the visiting Ayala Bulldogs. Kickoff at an even 7 o'clock on the nose as Ayala will field it and bring in the ball close to the 50-yard line. I'm Nate Rodriguez alongside Billy Lopez. Billy, how you doing today?
Man, I'm doing great. It's going to be a great game between the Bearcats and the Bulldogs. Bonita High School homecoming game, last league game here for the Mountain West. It's going to be an exciting one for Nate.
As you said, Billy, last league game in the Mountain West. The outcome of today will determine who takes second place in the 2022-2023 season. Ayala will start with the football down at the 47-yard line. Junior Brian Wilson will lead the offense at the quarterback position. The 5'11 junior weighing in at 205. Drops back, and his first play of the night will be a pass to the near sideline.
That was Dominic Alloway right there, their number one receiver on the season. Gets the first reception on the first throw from Wilson.
Alloway, one of the 29 seniors suited up for Ayala tonight. The Bulldogs enter tonight's game, the number 73 team in California, a 7-2 overall record on the season, 1-1 in the Mountain West League. Looking to find their footing to really close out the year. A second place finish for both teams is most desirable as Wilson takes the snap and hands it off. Big tackle there by Bonita.
Adrian McCoy breaking through that O-line of Ayala, which is absolutely one of the best O-lines in the Mountain West, but firing through right there. Adrian McCoy, wide receiver for the Bearcats and defensive back, breaking through there, stopping the rush early.
For McCoy, that's his 7th solo tackle of the year, his 13th of the season, gets things started for the Bonita defense tonight. 3rd down and 4 with the ball on the 47-yard line. Clock ticking down closer to the 11-minute mark now here in the first quarter.
This will be huge if the Bearcats can get a quick 3-and-out here on the first drive from the Bulldogs.
Would certainly swing momentum their way, and what do you have it? Another big tackle by the Bearcats. It looked like you were just alluding to it, Billy. It's going to be a quick 3-4-and-out for the Ayala Bulldogs.
Noah McCall was the first guy breaking through in there, getting to Jacob Munoz on the carry, and man, McCall, 6'3", sophomore Nate, very athletic, making plays right there. Tackle for a loss, 4th down.
And boy, does he come as advertised, huh, Billy? A 5-star recruit, only a sophomore for Bonita. A bad snap, fielded low by the kicker. Ayala is out to retrieve the ball down near the 13.
Yeah, that could have been dangerous right there. Low snap from the snapper on the punt. Credit to the Ayala punter right there to get it through. Kind of a weak one there, but got a favorable bounce all the way to 13.
Absolutely right. Got it off without a lot of pressure. Now Bonita will take over the football at the 13-yard line. 10 minutes and 20 seconds to play here in the first quarter as Daniel Andrade will lead the Bearcats out for the first time tonight.
Seems like Andrade has been quarterback for years and years and years, and that's because they've had a quarterback named Andrade for the past 6-7 years here. JP Andrade, of course, the older brother now at Jackson State. Daniel, the quarterback for the Bearcats now.
And so it's a family legacy here at Bonita. Daniel Andrade ready for his first play of the night. On the year, 156 completions and 259 attempts. Good for just over a 60% completion rate. Bearcats hand it off for the first play and pick up a few yards.
Markosian right there, off the fake right there. Montenegro on the first carry hands it off inside to Markosian in between the right guard and right tackle right there for a couple of yards. 2nd down and 8.
Markosian, one of the 26 seniors for the Bearcats tonight. A senior night homecoming football game for Bonita High School. 2nd down and 6 with the ball at the 17-yard line. Bonita comes into this game suffering a loss to Charter Oak last week. The Bearcats had a 5-game winning streak before they ran into that undefeated Chargers team. Andrade takes the snap and will hand it off to McHale. McHale, a great job bursting through the defensive line, picking up the first down for the Bearcats.
Kind of a little sweep inside right there. Easy handoff towards the right end. McHale knew what to do. Got a few blocks up in front. Big first down there, moving the chains.
You mentioned McHale's playmaking ability. Listed as 3 different positions on the Bonita High School roster. A defensive lineman, can also play wide receiver, and is sometimes slotted in as the strong safety on the secondary end for the Bearcats. Andrade takes the snap and will roll left, steps back in the pocket and looks for a pass play. Nearly picked off by the Bulldogs, threw it into traffic. A big stop there for Ayala.
Yeah, trip wide receiver set up on that left side of Andrade. Got pressure up there, doesn't really like to escape the pocket. Stood in there, took a hit, let it go. Dangerous pass, as you mentioned, into triple coverage. Thankfully, no pick.
Interesting to see the Bearcats run the ball tonight. Connor Spina, another senior for the Bearcats, the leading yard gainer for this offense. Andrade throws into traffic again, the pass tipped by Ayala.
That one intended for junior wide receiver, Ryder Kadam. Once again, though, that front 7 for Ayala breaking through that O-line and putting pressure on back-to-back plays on Andrade.
Kadam in 9 games has 26 catches, good for 444 yards, averaging just over 17 a game with 4 touchdowns on the season.
He's a big play target, lined up down there on the right side of Andrade, averaging 17 yards per reception.
Likely to take over that primary target position after Markosian graduates this year. A short pass to McHale on 3rd and 10 will pick up a few yards, but brings on 4th down.
Interesting what they do here. They are going to go with the punting unit. From 3rd and 10, they picked up about 7 yards there, 4th and 3. Ball still well inside on the Bearcat side, and they'll go with a safe route and punt it away to the Bulldogs.
McHale has the 3rd most receptions amongst any Bearcat receiver this season.
Look for Alloway here to make a play right here on the punt return. Bonita did not kick off to him intentionally. Big playmaking skills on the Bulldog side.
Punt winds up a little short of Alloway, and he'll let it skip past him.
Big bounce in favor of Bonita right there.
And so the ball is down just in front of the 20-yard line, set at the 21. It'll be 1st and 10 for Ayala on their 2nd drive of the evening, taking over with just under 8 minutes to play in the 1st.
Both teams a little shaky offensively. Ayala with a 3 and out on their first drive. Bonita with a couple of pressure faced by Andrade early on. A few incomplete passes, dangerous passes early on, and they did pick up a first down with McHale. Had to punt it away on that 2nd.
McHale likely the biggest playmaker of this evening. Passes through the hands of the intended receiver. Big break for Bonita there.
That was Drew Amico right there off the fingertips. Not sure if McHale was able to get a piece of it, but it kind of looked like it changed directions a little bit, and that's what called Amico to obviously miss that one.
Perhaps just that added pressure that McHale brings. Mentioned he does come as advertised, 6'3", 210, a 5-star recruit with offers from top Division I schools, including USC, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Tennessee, just to name a few.
Oh, yeah, just to name a few. I mean, he's got offers, seems about almost everywhere at this moment.
One of the premier playmakers in Southern California. A lot of pressure there by the Bonita defense. A good job by Ryder Kadam to force Brian Wilson to throw the ball out of bounds.
And you got to give the scouting report team right there credit for Bonita. They've watched a lot of film. Nowadays, film is just so accessible, and the Bearcats snuffed that play out right from the get-go. Almost every receiver was guarded up there, not to mention they had someone staying with Brian Wilson all the way.
Wilson able to scramble and get that ball out of bounds. 7 minutes, 47 seconds in the first. 3rd down and 10 from Ayala's own 22. Wilson finished checking over to the sidelines to read the play, now calling out to his offense. 3 receivers, 2 his left, 1 to his right. Sets the offense in motion and will drop back looking for a pass. Able to thread the needle just a little bit on something short, but not a lot of yardage gained for Ayala.
Holloway's second reception right there. Holloway kind of similar to Markosian for Bonita. Both of them like to catch it right there, right up the middle of the field, out of a little bit of a slant route, and use their playmaking abilities to pick up yards after the catch. Obviously, Bonita was right on them, pouncing on Holloway right away to pick up another 3 and out on this second drive for the Bulldogs.
So Ayala a little slow to start the night offensively. Brian Wilson having to deal with some pass rush from the Bonita defense, and as you mentioned, Billy, 3 and out. The punt, another short one just past the 50-yard line, and another friendly bounce. This one picked up at about the 38. Pardon me, 28-yard line.
Special teams unit being obviously cautious on both sides, not really wanting their playmakers to have a chance in the open field. And in a game that you can expect big-time plays to come from these playmakers, you want to limit those as much as possible.
We're through, almost halfway through the first quarter, 6 minutes, 54 seconds left to play here in the first, as Andrade brings the Bearcats out for their second drive of the night.
He's had an impressive year for the Bearcats, and having over 2,000 yards through the air, 32 touchdowns this junior year, and he's really been leading the Bearcats well.
Andrade, one of the 26 seniors for Bonita, now ready to go for their first play of this drive. 3 receivers set out to his right with a running back poised next to him. I was going to mention a quick little jump there by Ayala and a flag thrown on the field before the snap. So a false start against the Bulldogs gives the Bearcats a little bit better field position. First down and 5 from Bonita's own 33. An inside handoff, not a lot gained there. Oh, and he's on his feet still. A great display of athleticism there from Connor Spina.
Yeah, Spina is a freak athlete, one of those guys that just keeps his legs moving despite the contact, and kind of bounced off a few guys up the middle, pushed out to the outside, and picked up a few yards right there for short. Second down and short.
Spina, 6'1", 240. You mentioned great size, able to keep on his feet there. Thought he was at the bottom of the pile initially, and next thing you know, you just see him scramble out. This time, Andrade looking down the field, close to Ayala's 40-yard line on the far sideline, but the pass is incomplete, in and out of the hands of Georgie Markosian.
And that was Andrew Walker on the coverage right there. Just kind of had Markosian go outside on him. Had a beat on him, but closing speed by Walker made it tough.
Bonita a 6-3 overall record. Ayala 7-2. A Bonita win would mean both teams finish the season 7-3. A little pitch to the outside, and Markosian is brought down.
Yeah, nothing much there. That's got to be disappointing.
You had an opportunity on third down, right?
They had back-to-back opportunities on second and short, and that pushes them back 4th and 6. Gonna have to punt it here, obviously.
So both teams 0 for 2 on their first 2 drives. Perhaps the third time will be the charm, but Ayala will have possession first. Holloway back to field the punt again. This time able to dodge a defender. Still on his feet and brought down near the 50.
Had an interesting decision right there by Holloway, cutting back to the right side upfield. I thought right up the middle was an opportunity there to break it for more yardage right there, but got a little too fancy going left to right. Not enough north to south movement there from Alloway.
You can see the speed of his feet, quick feet from Dominic Alloway, able to change direction quickly. As you mentioned, trying to perhaps be just a little bit too fancy there and got caught up right in the middle of the Bonita defense. Brian Wilson and the Bulldogs back out.
Look for Ayala to run more here on this drive. Haven't really gone to it much.
Wilson will keep the ball himself there. A great fake handoff to the running back. Wilson still on his feet, marching down the field. He's inside the 20 and will step out of bounds in the Bonita red zone. A big play there from Brian Wilson. Play action quarterback run, was able to bring it inside the 20, and now, well, Ayala set themselves up perfectly.
35 plus yards on that carry right there, on a beautiful QB sneak right there. I mentioned that they hadn't rushed the ball too much on their first 2 drives, Nate. Bit everyone on the defense right there and then turned on the burners.
Great play calling by the Ayala offense. Now they have 1st and 10 on the 18-yard line. 5 minutes, 9 seconds left to play in this first quarter from Glenn Davis. Wilson takes the snap and hands it off, and another big tackle right up front from Bonita. That's John Colson on the stop.
Anthony Hernandez on the carry right there. Unfortunately for him, man, he just had nowhere to go. In those situations right there, you just got to hang on to the ball, make sure that ball doesn't come loose.
Colson was all over it. Read the play like a children's book. Now it's 2nd and 12, 4:40 on the clock and ticking. Wilson takes a snap. Play action play right over the middle. Good for a first down for Ayala.
Payne on an easy slant route up the middle. As you mentioned, drew once again by the play action. That's setting up 1st and goal. First time either team has been in the red zone here. Chance for Ayala to go up early.
L'Italian Payne the second, a two-way player for this Bulldogs team, a wide receiver and a quarterback on the other side of the ball. 6'2" senior weighing in at 165. So the first real scoring opportunity for either team comes right here. 1st down and goal, and it'll be a close call right there at the goal line.
And 2nd down.
Stopped just short of the end zone. Ayala, an inside handoff, almost got them to the promised land, but Bonita still has a yard to work with.
Sometimes that last yard's the hardest one right there. Looked as though Hernandez was in for a second, but
definitely thought so too.
Bearcats did their job.
2nd down and goal from the 1.
There it is.
And this time Ayala will find it. Another inside handoff on back-to-back plays. Touchdown Ayala, 6-0 to start the scoring.
It's Elijah Ibanez right there, the sophomore. Inside handoff in between the center and the right guard. Breaks through.
Ibanez leading into the game against Glendora High School earlier this season. Had 1 touchdown through 8 games played. Picks up another one here to start the scoring on this Thursday night as the point after attempt is up and good. 7-0 Ayala here in the first.
It was all set up by the big 35-yard rush by Brian Wilson on the fake to Hernandez. And once they got in there, nice little pass into Payne the second. Sets up 1st and goal. A couple of rushes up the gut. Breakthrough. 7-0. We're going to see how Bonita can respond now. Down 7-0.
You had said watch out for that run, and the next thing you knew, Wilson turned on the jets and took off. Set up that entire drive for Ayala. They now lead 7-0 with 3 minutes and 10 seconds left to play in the first.
And don't get me wrong, Nate. I mean, Wilson can definitely throw the ball, but Ayala's bread and butter this season has been their rushing game, and that 3rd drive showcased it.
Ball looked like it might have tipped Markoshin. Another close call near the goal line. Markosian looks like he was brought down right about the 1, if that.
That was pretty close to a safety, Nate, on a kickoff.
I've never seen that in my life. Glad I didn't get to see it for the first time there.
This one might be one of the first 100-yard drives here that you rarely see, too. Close to it, maybe 99 and a half.
And so Andrade, matter of fact, will pick it up at about the, a half-yard line mark, if you could call it that. It'll be marked down at the 1. There you see it right there on your screen. Good shot there by our camera crew.
Oh yeah, LVTV does it best.
You are watching some high school homecoming senior night football on LVTV 3. The Ayala Bulldogs leading the Bearcats, and what do you have it there? A pick 6 interception. Ayala at the goal line, able to just cross it with one single step, and on back-to-back plays, the Bulldogs find them up 13-0.
Oh, is that Dominic Alloway right there? I think he just broke in, caught it, and went in there.
Andrade was going for a short pass right in front of the goal line. The defense was all over it. Didn't even see the interception almost at first till you saw the hands go up on the Ayala side of the ball.
Slightly dangerous pass there. Kind of a 50-50 one between Markosian and Alloway there. Alloway just wanted it more. Got it. Probably the shortest pick 6 that we probably ever seen was that half-yard return.
Quite a couple of unconventional plays there. Kick is good by Nick Lane. 2 for 2 on point after attempts. Ayala able to take a 2-possession lead after a big offensive drive highlighted by Brian Wilson, and that pick 6 interception from Dominic Alloway.
Markosian obviously had the miscue on the kickoff that got them set up on that half-yard line. He was also the intended receiver on that interception. That was a 50-50 ball, as I mentioned, and now he's not on the field for this kickoff return.
Ayala trying to stick with the aggression, the intensity. They try an onside kick, but a flag is thrown almost immediately on the play. False start for the Bulldogs.
If there's a time that you're going to do it right there, probably a good shot right there, up 14-0 in the first quarter. Kind of catch them by surprise a little bit.
Trying to catch them by surprise completely. This Bonita team almost shocked after what just happened, what just transpired in the last 8 seconds alone. Ayala scoring 2 touchdowns. They'll go for it again. This time, a strong kickoff. Ball brought inside the 30.
Senior Joe Parra right there on the kickoff return. Sure-handed senior. Scooped it up around the 15. Gets to about the 31-yard line to set up shop for Bonita.
1st and 10 at the 31. Now we are under the 3-minute mark in the first quarter. Markosian is back out on the field this time. One of the 3 receivers set up to the Bonita quarterback's right. On the far left, far side of your screen is Noah McHale.
And this is where you need that senior leadership from Andrade.
Quarterback calls for the snap and looks left. Finds McHale over the middle on a slant route. Brought down by the Ayala defense, but not before the super sophomore moves the chains for the Bearcats.
And that's where he's had success. Staying in the pocket, quick passes in the first couple seconds off the snap, letting his playmakers get more yards after the catch right there. McHale picking up a big first down, 12 yards on that throw.
McHale, an integral part of the Bonita defense, getting it done offensively as well. Bonita with a couple short passes early in this game, one of which already picked off for a pick 6. Andrade looking to his left again to McHale. This time throws wide to his target's opposite direction. Again, almost picked off by Ayala, but the throw was questionable itself. Likely would have been caught out of bounds.
Offensive line picked up the rush pretty well for the Bearcats right there on a simple 4-man rush. A lot of pressure on that left side right in front of Andrade. And perhaps seeing the pressure, thinking there's a little bit opportunity upside, up top on the field, intended for Mikkel. Again, one of those third dangerous passes early on already.
Trying to iron out the wrinkles here in the first quarter. Andrade rushed again by the defense. Screen pass is able to pick up another first down for the Bearcats.
Beautiful screen play right there, set up perfectly. Andrade brought the defense inside, dumped it off to his back, Spina, and Spina got a few blocks up there. Back-to-back first downs. Bonita offense rolling right here.
Spina, arguably the heart and soul of this Bearcats offense, has 508 total yards on the season. As the rush almost able to pick up another first down.
Yeah, got a first down through the air, almost got one right there on the ground.
And you got it right, just about right there. Second down and 2 from Ayala's 44-yard line. Bonita with the hurry-up offense trying to keep it going. Another handoff to Spina. And what do you know, the 240-pound running back still on his feet, having to break several tackles. Took about 3 or 4 Bulldogs to bring him down.
Jacob Munoz broke through right there on the blitz, got a foot wrapped up, but definitely not all of Spina, as he was able to inch across at least 1 yard on that carry.
Spina came into this game with 77 total carries for over 400 yards, has 5 rushing touchdowns, and trying to carry a lot of the heavy weight for Bonita on this drive. 45 seconds and ticking. Andrade takes the snap, looks right, and the pass is picked off by Ayala. Interception for Dominic Alloway.
Second pick of the night.
So the Bulldog senior having a big first quarter, a pick-6 interception already, followed by an interception here with 40 seconds left in the first quarter. Ayala leads 14-0, and Alloway, he's been at the center of it all.
And man, defense for Ayala has been coming up huge. Obviously, the special teams set up their second touchdown right there, and now takeaway here. If Ayala could score on this drive right here, it's going to be looking a little bit bleak early on here at Glenn Davis Stadium.
A crucial night for the Bearcats. The outcome of this game will determine a second place finisher for the Mountain West League. And Ayala is out and running. No one's going to catch him there. Marcus Monroe, touchdown Bulldogs. And we'll wait a second for the flag on the field.
Holding Nate. That's against Ayala. Tough break. Coach Gracia obviously wanting that one not to go that way. But man, first time we saw Marquise Monroe, how fast can he go?
Those were some burners, absolutely. Monroe, what would have been an explosive, nearly 70-yard touchdown, is going to move Ayala back to about the 17-yard line.
I did the quick math because I'm a bit of a nerd, but 72 yards would have been that rushing touchdown. Now back to the 18-yard line, 1st and 20.
27 seconds left in the first quarter. Ayala looking to start another big drive now. Had one almost there, but the flag brings back the touchdown. Wilson steps up, trying to beat the pass rush, and the ball is down and out on the field. Bonita picks it up, and they're able to take advantage of the Bulldogs' first mistake.
Nate, they always talk about the roller coaster of sports, man, and we got to witness that right there. How about the Bulldogs? What they thought had a 72-yard rushing touchdown turns into a fumble, and Bonita sets up shop. 1st and 10 in the red zone, opportunity to cut this lead in half.
Can't take anything for granted. Ayala losing the ball on that play. Dominic Avalar, the junior linebacker, getting it done for Bonita's secondary. Now the Bearcats will take over, as you mentioned, Billy, inside the red zone. 1st and 10 from the 16 with 20 seconds left in the first.
But if you're the Bearcats right here, you have to capitalize on this. You don't want 3, you want to put up 7.
The best field position they've had all night so far. Still early in this Thursday evening. Andrade, another 3 receivers out to his right. McHale to his left. Over the middle to Markosian. Trying to break a couple tackles, but brought down at about the 10-yard line.
And credit to the Bulldogs. I mean, they know he's their number 1 playmaker, and on those opportunities right there, really bunching him up, not letting him get much after the receptions.
Markosian is the Bearcats' number 1 target according to the stats this season. As the clock winds down, that concludes the end of the first quarter here from Glenn Davis Stadium. You're watching high school football, the Bonita Bearcats homecoming football game. They trail the Bulldogs 14-0 on LVTV 3, Laverne Community Television. Welcome back to LVTV3 Laverne Community Television. I'm Nate Rodriguez alongside Billy Lopez, bringing you tonight's Bonita's homecoming football game from Glenn Davis Stadium. The Bearcats taking on the visiting Ayala Bulldogs from Chino Hills. The Bulldogs entering tonight with a 7-2 record, 1-1 in the Mountain West League. Tied for 3rd place with the Bearcats. The winner of tonight will finish league with a 2nd place finish. Andrade and the Bearcats inside the red zone as Andrade throws another pick. The Ayala Bulldogs will bring it back inside the 20-yard line. Andrade not having the cleanest of nights offensively.
It was Andrew Walker right there getting the interception right. The 3rd interception on the night for Andrade. Now 14 interceptions on the year.
Was just about to mention Andrade, 26 touchdowns on the year, but yes, those 14 interceptions, 3 of them tonight in a crucial game for Bonita, has not put the Bearcats in a good position early. They had great field position, recovering an Ayala fumble on their last drive, but that, well, went pretty much to waste.
And that one necessarily wasn't a bad decision. That was just a bad throw.
Andrade's had a couple of them tonight. The Bulldogs, with an outside handoff, are able to get the ball close to the 50-yard line.
Beautiful handoff right there for Jacob Munoz. Huge rush on 1st down. Moves the chains right away for the Bulldogs.
Munoz, another 2-way player for this Bulldogs team. Taken over as the running back for this drive, but also listed as a full safety on Ayala's roster. Brian Wilson hasn't thrown the ball too much tonight. His big 35-yard run earlier in the first quarter set Ayala up for a touchdown. Inside handoff doesn't pick up too much, a few yards.
Yeah, right now the Bulldogs have it all set up the way they want. They could chew up a lot of clock, run the ball. They run the ball really well. It's really what has helped them propel their 1st touchdown of the night. 2nd touchdown was set up by the special teams. And obviously after the quick interception and pick 6.
You hear about good team wins all the time. Ayala playing cohesively as a full team here. Wilson, a handoff to Munoz. Munoz able to pick up the 1st down and a few more. Brought down in Bonita territory just in front of the 40-yard line.
Yeah, made a couple guys miss. Bounced out to the outside, as you mentioned there. Joe Parra was able to wrap him up. And if Joe Parra couldn't get to him, nobody was going to be able to get to him. Able to corral that play right there from a big one to a very large one instead.
Ayala with a couple explosive players. Dominic Alloway, Marquise Monroe we saw with that near touchdown earlier, a 72-yard run that was brought back on the holding penalty for Ayala. And now Jacob Munoz, you can see, getting nifty, trying to avoid some Bonita defenders. Wilson steps up and will throw deep. Bonita, a great chance to pick the ball off. Pass was heavily contested and deflected out of the intended receiver's hands.
Thought on the deflection, Nate, I thought Alloway had a chance to get to that one. That would have been a backbreaker early on for the Bearcats.
A little pass, tip, deflection, and catching it on a dive for the end zone would have been a nightmare for Bonita, absolutely.
Tip drill.
Instead, it's 2nd and 10 on 42. Inside handoff again to Munoz, but there's the Bonita defense to stop him early.
Good stop right there by the Bearcats. And Munoz was just picking up yardage after yardage right there. Probably the shortest rush right there. 3rd and long here.
McHale there for the tackle for the Bearcats. Getting his licks in on the defensive end as well. 3rd down and 8 for Ayala. 10 minutes to play left in the first half. A pair of receivers to Wilson's right, one to his left. He'll drop back and look for a pass to the far sideline, overthrown and incomplete.
Little 5-man rush right there. Dominic Avalar, the junior linebacker, able to break through, put a little bit pressure, hands up there. 4th and long here, but they're in a position just past midfield, Nate. They might go for this one right here.
You got the comfort of a 2-touchdown lead, 14-0 Ayala here in the second quarter from Glenn Davis Stadium at Bonita High School in Laverne. Ayala started out this season with a 5-game winning streak before running into powerhouse Citrus Valley High School out in Redlands. Citrus Valley defeated Ayala 28-7 back in September. During that 5-game win streak, the Bulldogs had beat rival Chino Hills High School on the road 20-19 as Wilson steps up, finds his intended receiver over the middle. The Bulldogs, 1st down and more, almost inside the red zone, brought right down at the 20.
Drew Amico right there to the right of Wilson picks up a big 4th down reception to move the chains and keep the drive moving.
You had talked about the decision to go ahead and go for it on 4th down. Ayala didn't have much to lose there at all. And sure enough, Wilson able to find an open receiver down the field. 1st down and 10 from the 21. 9:15 left in the second quarter. Wilson calls for the snap and hands it off up the middle.
Nothing much right there for Monroe.
You mentioned Monroe on the carry. It was John Colson there for the wraparound tackle.
And Polson's made a nice couple plays defensively for the Bearcats.
Colson, McHale, and the supporting crew trying to keep Ayala off the scoreboard again. They're now inside Bonita's red zone. 2nd and 7 from the 17. Wilson will fake the pass and throw close to moving the chains just a little bit, but looks like Colson was in there to make another tackle before the 1st down.
Alloway on the reception. Got pulled back, but they're going to keep it right there before all the yardage that he lost after that. So 3rd and 1.
3rd and 1 indeed. Ball is down at the 12. The play looked close to moving the chains, but just not quite enough. If Bonita can make a stop here, you think Ayala goes for it on 4th down again or goes to try to kick for 3?
I think they would go for it again.
Why not, right? Handoff to the outside. Breaking through is Monroe. Touchdown, Ayala.
Guess they don't have to decide if they were going to go for it right there.
Right. Marquise Monroe, a 17-yard touchdown, able to break past the D-line of the Bearcats. It's 20-0 Ayala as they look for a 3rd successful point after. So quite a damper to start the homecoming evening, huh?
Absolutely. Take the crowd out of it right away, and now have dug themselves a huge hole down 3 possessions.
Still a healthy amount of Bearcats fans in the building. Student section out in full support with the marching band in the stands. 21-0 the Bearcats lead, and they'll need every ounce of help they can get from this crowd here at Glen Davis.
The student section quiet right now. I believe they call it the Den, if I'm not mistaken. But not much to cheer for right now, and that last touchdown was a heartbreaker. If you could go and make that stop, and you're only down 2 possessions despite 3 interceptions and a pick 6, you think, well, it could be a lot worse, but now 3 possessions makes it a lot more tough.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ayala made it look pretty easy. Still got a lot of football left to play. 7 minutes and 48 seconds left here in this first half. Bonita drops back for the kick return. Brought down near the 15-yard line.
Coach Bo Beatty and Bogan, man, they are trying to figure out something on the sideline, pacing back and forth, a little upset with their team performance early on. I'm sure they've done a lot of homework coming into here and wanting to finish second in the Mountain West and knock off a top 100 team in California in Ayala.
Sometimes when the stakes are high, nerves are high too, and Ayala is certainly a tough opponent. And with second place on the line here at the end of tonight, Bonita could be feeling the pressure just a little bit more than normal.
Yeah, but you need more from your senior leadership, and unfortunately Andrade just hasn't had it tonight. The decision making has been a little bit questionable, has missed a few throws, and that's cost him with 3 interceptions.
He hasn't been sacked yet. He's had time in his own pocket, just a couple questionable pass decisions, errant throws as well. We saw that one on the far sideline that was almost picked off, made McHale spin and try to change direction. Had that short pass right in front of the goal line that was returned for that pick 6. You're absolutely right, Billy, just not the smoothest play from Andrade in this first half.
But you also got to give credit, Nate, to the Ayala Bulldogs defense and that secondary. They've really done a great job at highlighting the star player receivers in Montenegro, Markosian, just to name a few for the Bearcats. And if you look down the field on a lot of those snaps, yes, he has had time, but the coverage has just been pretty excellent thus far. I think they need to run the ball a little bit more with Spina to open up a little bit more of that passing game later on. But down 21-0, you still have a lot of time, but sometimes that could put a little bit more pressure offensively.
Here's another pass play from Andrade. This one able to connect near the near sideline. Pass is complete to Brian Bradshaw.
First time we see Bradshaw take a snap right there. Gets one near the home sideline.
Bradshaw was one of the 4 Bearcats to go out for the coin toss tonight. Andrade, Spina, Bradshaw, and Colson all out to call the kick, and a flag there.
Tough one right there. On the hard snap right there, you almost got Ayala to go off sides, and then after another one, you pull your own offensive line a little bit early. You go back 5 yards.
It was 2nd and 4, now 2nd and 9 from the 25-yard line. 7:36 on the clock here at Glen Davis before we reach the halftime intermission. Homecoming festivities ahead of you here at Glen Davis. Perhaps a chance to take a look at the homecoming royalty for Bonita as Andrade connects with Bradshaw again, this time on the opposite side of the field, picking up the first down near the far sideline.
That was a good decision right there by Andrade, rolling out to the right. Top 2 receivers were guarded up pretty easily, but Bradshaw was right there available.
Bradshaw, one of the top 3 receivers for the Bearcats, came into this game with 9 catches, now has, take that back, 29 catches, now has 31 on the season. Another pass from Andrade, another first down for the Bearcats. as Georgie Markoshin is able to scramble to the near sideline and get past the 50-yard line.
Set up by a couple of blocks by Bradshaw and McHale. And credit to Markosian to stop moving towards the sideline, cut back up the field, and then push out there to get to the first down marker. Crossing midfield, ball on the Bulldogs 49.
It'll be the little things that Bonita has to do right to correct the score of this game. Haven't done a great job at blocking so far tonight. 21-0 with 7 minutes 20 on the clock. Ball is loose on the field, picked up by Markoshin. And he steps out of bounds almost in the exact same spot as the last play.
It was kind of crazy. We was looking at Spina go up the middle, and I think he didn't even know the ball came out loose until he realized, hey, no one's trying to tackle me. He looks down. Ball's bouncing back in the backfield, and Markosian able to get on it and get a couple of yards on the rush.
So it was Spina, the running back, with the fumble. 2nd and 8 from the 47-yard line. Andrade rolling to his right, looking for an open receiver. Pass got into the hands of Ryder Kadum, but was broken up by the Ayala defense.
Had Kadum a little bit earlier. Took a little too long to develop and allowed the defense to get to him.
3rd down and 8 now. 7 minutes, 6 seconds on the clock with the ball still at the 47-yard line in Ayala territory. Bonita needing a big play here.
This has got to be 4th down territory for the Bearcats.
Andrade, a trio of receivers to his right, elects to hand it off to Spina. Unable to pick up the first down. Picked up a few yards, but now looks like it'll be 4th and 5 from the 44-yard line. And the offense is staying on the field.
Yeah.
The Bearcats chasing by 3 touchdowns, going for it here on 4th and 5. And Bonita will call a touchdown. Just about halfway through the 2nd quarter here from Glenn Davis Stadium. Bonita Bearcats playing their homecoming game tonight, taking on the Ayala Bulldogs. You're watching LVTV3, Laverne Community Television. So far, it's been Ayala taking advantage of Bonita's mistakes. What do you think Bonita can do, Billy, to try and correct this thing?
Well, first thing they need to do is protect the ball. They've had 3 turnovers, almost lost one here on the fumble by Spina, able to recover that one. But they got to also move the chains here on this big 4th down. Obviously, that's why the dual coaches of Beatty and Bogan want to call a timeout here, because this is a crucial play. 6:35 left of the half. You got to keep this drive alive. You got to put points up on the board here and make sure you come away with something positive.
Absolutely. You slow the game down here with the timeout, get the crowd a little bit more involved. This is a big play on 4th and 5 from the 44-yard line. Very capable of swinging the momentum of this game. Andrade, another trio of receivers out to his right, McHale to his left. The Ayala defense trying to get set up, and some miscommunication on the snap. Tough break for Bonita.
Very unfortunate right there. I don't really think they were trying to draw Ayala off sides there on the hard count or what, but you can't have penalties like that, especially coming out of a timeout, and really changes everything from what was going to be a 4th and short potential play to keep the drive alive. Now they're going to punt it to this Ayala offense who scored on their last 2 drives.
Talked about how crucial that play could have been. Now Bonita will have to make another stop against Ayala. Kick takes another friendly bounce for Bonita. Looked like a member of the Bulldogs offense Perhaps Marquise Monroe made contact with the ball upon trying to tackle one of the Bearcats players, but the ball is down just in front of the 10-yard line.
Yeah, I think they're going to call a penalty before the touch there, but that could have been a big swing right there if they actually did rule that the Ayala player did touch it, because then Bonita could just take it inside to the end zone.
Right. The officials now conversating about it. The Bonita defense is ready to go as the Bulldogs come back out. 6:24 left in the first half. 21-0 Ayala leads. And the Bulldogs will pick it up from the 10-yard line. Correction, the 6-yard line. Brian Wilson and the Bulldogs having to travel 94 yards if they want to score 6. They'll start it off with a handoff up the middle and brought down after a few yards. Sophomore Anthony Hernandez picking up a few yards. Sophomore Noah McHale for Bonita bringing him down.
Anthony Hernandez has had the bulk of the carries tonight. Hasn't really broke off big plays, but it's been consistent throughout.
That's all you need out of an offense, is a little bit of consistency. Bonita still searching for theirs. Another couple yards picked up there. Third down and 2 from the 14.
To be huge if you could stop him right here, get a punt, and pretty decent field positioning for the offense of the Bonita Bearcats, and that's going to hurt them.
Brian Wilson able to draw the defense a little bit prematurely. That'll cost the Bearcats on what looked to be a good play for the defense, waiting in the wings. Now brings Ayala to 1st and 10 from the 19.
Yeah, it looked to be Colson that jumped early right there. He's been a player that has been making plays defensively, a little eager right there. Kept his drive alive now for the Bulldogs.
A bit too much anticipation for Colson on that last play. Now Wilson with the snap, fakes the handoff and dumps it to his left. First down and more for Ayala, and he's still on his feet and in bounds. Marching down the field inside the 20, the 10, touchdown Ayala.
Ibanez right there on a beautiful little screen pass on the play action up the middle. Fooled everyone right there, but how about the consistency to stay in bounds on that?
Found his footing near the far sideline, didn't step out and beat every single Bonita defender along the way as Elijah Ibanez, the sophomore, picking up another touchdown for the Bulldogs. Point after attempt is up and good for Ayala as they extend their lead 28-0 with 4:45 left to play in the half.
Struggling to come up with ways to describe this one, Nate, but the only thing I can say is it's just been very disappointing, obviously, for the Bonita side. On the Ayala side, man, they've been making some great plays. We got to start giving them more credit. Obviously, it's been a meltdown on the Bonita side, but this Ayala team is not ranked 73rd in California for no reason. They are a talented squad, and they are making big plays, continuing to put on fantastic drives. What we see, what could have been a 20-yard gain on that play, ended up being like a 60, 70-yard touchdown reception.
And that's what separates these two teams. Ayala, as you mentioned, 73rd in California. Both these teams suffered their last loss to the Charter Oak Chargers, and both teams only lost by 3. Bonita trying to bring the kickoff as far up as possible. Ayala stopping the return near the 25.
Is Ryder Kadam on the kickoff return.
.435 on the clock, 1st and 10 for Daniel Andrade and the Bearcats. From the 26-yard line, Andrade has had a tough night, throwing 3 interceptions, has yet to get Bonita on the scoreboard. Using Connor Spina as the lead rusher so far tonight, the Bearcats still haven't really been able to march down the field, only reaching the red zone once before Andrade threw a big interception.
And they got set up, Nate, on that red zone trip by the defense on a turnover. And what happened was Andrade threw his 3rd interception into the end zone.
A pass to Spina on the near side is able to pick up a 1st down for the Bearcats. A redo first, 1st and 10, this time from the 38-yard line. Another handoff to the senior running back, Spina, who picks up about a gain of 4. So Spina still doing the heavy lifting. Andrade trying to find his arm's accuracy before the end of the first half. A quartet of receivers out there for this play. Andrade calls the snap, hands it off to Spina again. This time the senior running back rushing left, picking up the 1st down and more, breaking 2 tackles and almost getting to the 30. 1st down, Bearcats.
20-plus yards on that carry by Spina. And if he could keep doing that, that's going to open up play action later on for an opportunity for Andrade to air it out.
Andrade hasn't taken the effort to throw the ball real far tonight. Couple short passes, some of them costly. Still using Spina here on a inside handoff, but the senior is brought down almost immediately.
Bottled up inside right there. Has had some success outside, not so much inside.
With the clock ticking down towards 3 minutes left in the first half, it's 28-0 here in the second quarter from Glenn Davis Stadium. Bonita with 1 touchdown remaining before the half, timeout, sorry. And Ayala with 3. Play action there. Andrade looking to air it out down the field towards McHale, but overthrown and out of bounds. Incomplete pass.
Hey, you say overthrown. I see that there, but also I see McHale trying to create a little bit more space and slow down. But if he kept running right there, that's right into his hands for a potential touchdown.
Clock stops with the incomplete pass attempt.
Opportunity was right there, though, as McHale had Alloway beat.
Ayala defense has yet to show any blemishes so far tonight. Andrade looking the other way down the field this time and able to connect with his receiver, Georgi Markosian.
Beautiful dime right there, right into the breadbasket of Markosian. Walker was too late to catch up to that one. Beautiful timing offensively with the Andrade Markosian connection into the red zone now.
The 2 big playmakers for Bonita will need to keep it up. This entire Bonita offense needing to play with a little bit of a stronger, faster, more intense pace to try and cut this deficit a little bit. Andrade loses the ball out of his hands while he's scrambling to his right. Now there's a pile down near the far sidelines, and we'll see who comes back with it.
Yikes.
Could have been costly there, don't you think?
Man.
And there's a flag.
Well, that's on the sideline over there. Ayala coaching staff. I mean, unfortunate situation there for Ayala. You're up 28-0. Have everything going for you right there. Almost got another turnover. don't really want to do that.
Still really early in this football game. Ayala able to put up 4 touchdowns on the board here in the first half, but one right there to turn the ball over inside the red zone would have been brutal. Andrade over the middle, connecting with Bradshaw.
You know, I'm not an offensive coordinator, but I think you got to run the ball with Spina 4 consecutive times here and hope that back could get you 2-3 yards and into the house for your first touchdown of the night.
Try to eat as much time up off this clock and not let Ayala get the ball back. Their scoring has come in bunches. Andrade, another pass to Markosian, and the senior able to muscle his way through. First score of the Bearcats for the night. Touchdown, Bonita. And that'll get the home crowd riled up.
And that's why I'm up here in the booth with you and not down there on the field playing, making the play calls right there.
I'm sure Spina will have another 4 consecutive run streak later on tonight.
The ball was thrown pretty high right there. Markosian gave him credit to corral it and then obviously punch it through the gut.
It took a while for Bonita's leading connection to find their footing in this ball game, but Bonita with a little bit of rhythm there, able to recover their own fumble from Andrade, then find their first score of the night. Point attempt after was not good, 28-6, with just over a minute and a half left in this first half.
Well, if they could stop the Bulldogs for a minute 35, they do get the ball to start the second half. And putting back-to-back scoring drives could cut this deficit in half with a whole lot of football left in the second half.
Still looking for Bonita to clean up a little bit of the mistakes, try to do the little things right if they want to edge out Ayala in this football game. Ayala 4 for 4 on point after attempts tonight. Bonita missing their first opportunity there. Kickoff return is fielded by Alloway, trying to bring it right back up the middle and is met by 3 or 4 Bearcats bodies. Alloway takes a few hits and is brought down right about the 30.
Good aggression right there on the Bearcats side right there to get Alloway. Alloway is a huge threat. 2 interceptions tonight, a pick 6 to go along with a handful of receptions offensively and try to make a big play right there. Broke a couple tackles there, but then the Bearcats piled on.
First down and 10 from the 30-yard line. A minute 27 on the clock. Brian Wilson with a trio of receivers to his left, one off to his right. He'll pass to his left, finds its way to Alloway, who's brought down out of bounds.
Alloway's going to be their guy on this drive right here. Got to go 2-minute drill. You do have 3 timeouts if you're Ayala, but might take one right here.
Ryder Kadam with the tackle. Ayala will take a timeout with a minute and 12 seconds. 28-6, the Bulldogs lead. You're watching high school football on LVTV3, Laverne Community Television, as the Bearcats have quite a hole to climb out of. A 3-possession game, 28-6 here from Bonita High School.
Attention, Island friends. This is a Parrot Service announcement. A manta ray mayday. A turtle alert. Bottlenose newsflash. They're in trouble, and so is their world. But there's hope, and you can help. Our mission at the Blue Project Foundation is to rescue and save thousands of endangered animals. One of the ways is by caring for coral reefs, a vital and unique part of our oceans and our entire ecosystem. The beautiful and intricate structure provides shelter and support to a wide variety of marine life. Find out how you can help save these majestic animals and protect their rightful place on our planet. And join us in taking big steps and baby steps to protect our oceans. Because for them, home is where the ocean is. Learn more at blueprojectatlantis.org.
Action looking to pick back up. 2nd and 2 from the 38-yard line. A minute and 12 seconds in the first half. Nate Rodriguez alongside Billy Lopez bringing to you tonight's action. At halftime, the homecoming queen winners will be announced for Bonita.
And they're rolling in deep right now. Some very fancy, expensive luxury
You're able to look
vehicles.
toward the west side of the field. Bunch of sports cars lined up down there. A rush play by the Bulldogs, unable to pick up the first down. Clock still ticking, now less than 60 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Ayala with the hurry-up offense, but a whistle blown.
Had too many men on the field right there on Bonita. That was Micah Tafilau trying to get out. Couldn't get out in time.
So Ayala able to take advantage of another Bonita miscue. The penalty moves the football up the field. 1st and 10 now from the 43-yard line. And a pass wide open there to Marquise Monroe, just right through the hands of the junior running back. Wilson almost dropped the ball on the snap.
And Amico down low here. He's getting solo coverage. He's broke off a couple of big plays for the Bulldogs. Might be one away again with 45 seconds left of the half.
Less than a minute to play before we reach halftime. Ayala trying to pad to their score just a little bit more. Wilson sees an opening, steps up and slides for a gain of about 4 yards. That'll bring up 3rd down.
Ayala will call their second timeout right there, I believe.
So Ayala, 1 timeout left here in the first half. 35 seconds on the clock. 28-6, the Bulldogs lead. Ayala last year able to defeat the Bearcats on Ayala's own turf, 35-14. This Bulldogs team now just 1 touchdown away, a touchdown and an extra point away from matching that score, and we haven't even reached halftime.
Yeah, definitely a lot of opportunities left for the Bearcats, but also the Bulldogs have been playing pretty well early on, so it's gonna need to be a lot of effort on the Bonita side. For the Ayala side, they got to continue to do what they've been doing, and that's dominating both sides of the ball.
Ayala has scored more than 30 points in 4 games this season. They've scored more than 43 times and more than 50 once. Bonita defense trying to limit that the rest of the night. A long bomb from Wilson down the field. Was that caught in bounds? No, it was not. Incomplete pass. Wilson airing it out for the first time tonight on the far sideline, but the ball brought down out of bounds.
Impressive grab right there by Payne the second, even to catch that one. And nowadays, receivers are so good at getting both feet in bounds, and obviously at the high school level.
It's like a fine art.
Yep.
Toe touching.
What do you think? A few ballet classes?
Right? Maybe. You never know with athletes nowadays. You never know. 4th down and 10 for the Bulldogs as they look to punt. A little bit of a low snap again. Calling for a fair catch in the backfield. Reeling it in is Jaden Montenegro. So Bonita able to keep Ayala quiet on their last drive of the first half. Now need to just take care of the ball with 20 seconds left on the clock before we reach the halftime festivities.
Well, it's going to be quite the show, I can tell you that.
How many of those cars you count over there? 1, 2. I don't want to
7,
bore
right?
everyone counting out loud. Yep, 7. 7 potential Miss Homecoming Queens here for.
I think they did that intentionally, right? 6 points for a touchdown, 1 point after. You get 7.
Right.
Only one winner tonight in this game, though, and obviously only one winner for Homecoming Queen.
Oh, the similarities. As Andrade takes a knee, that'll bring us to halftime. Ayala able to take advantage of Bonita's mistakes here in the first half. A pick six and 3 offensive touchdowns are able to put the Bulldogs up 28-6 as we head into halftime. Andrade, not the cleanest to play here in the first half. A couple fumbles, 3 interceptions. And Ayala just taking advantage.
Ayala got off to an early lead, 14-0. Added another one, 21-28. Bonita got a score late, missed a point after. We'll get the ball to start the second half, so we'll see what they could do from there. But Ayala put it together, a really impressive first half. 3 takeaways defensively, got the running game going early on in that first quarter, and then opened up the passing game a little bit in that second quarter.
Absolutely. Playing a very strong, cohesive team game so far tonight. The number 73rd ranked team in California, Ayala Bulldogs, ahead of Bonita 28-6 at halftime. You're watching high school football on LVTV 3, Laverne Community Television.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you will direct your attention to the left end of the track, we will present to you our 2022 Princesses. Princess Alyssa Bird. Driving in the car with Alyssa is her mother, Heidi, who will also be escorting Alyssa on the field. Her father, Jeff, and sister are also in attendance tonight. During her 4 years at Bonita, Alyssa has been involved in theater, choir, gender and sexual acceptance club. She is also the host of our school's web show, Today on the Green. For her PACE project, she is stage manager for the fall play, The Wolves. Next year, Alyssa would like to attend Citrus College and major in musical theater while also being part of the Citrus Singers. Princess Trinity Carroll. Driving in the car with Trinity is video teacher Mr. Eichen. Trinity will be escorted by her father, Mark. Her mother, Melanie, and brother are also in attendance tonight. During her 4 years at Bonita, Trinity has been involved in volleyball and video production. For her PACE project, she interned with LVTV through the University of Laverne's film department. Next year, Trinity would like to attend Azusa Pacific University and major in Cinematic Arts. Princess Trinity Carroll. Honorary Princess Isabella Gill. Driving in the car with Izzy is her teacher, Mrs. Dill. Izzy will be escorted by her father, Tony Chavez. Her mother, Sandra, and her sister are also in attendance tonight. During her 4 years at Bonita, Izzy has been involved in dance, ASB, and Best Buddies. For her PACE project, she interned at the wedding shop. Next year, Izzy would like to attend Mount Sac and major in chemistry. Princess Isabella Gill. Princess Donna McGrew. Driving in the car with Donna is her culinary arts teacher, Mrs. Brandler. Donna will be escorted by her brother, Dylan McGrew. Her mother, Aaliyah McKay, and her sister are also in attendance tonight. During her 4 years at Bonita, Donna has been involved in choir and culinary arts. For her PACE project, she took a baking class in Naples, Italy. Next year, Donna would like to attend Mount Sac and major in baking and pastries. Princess Donna McGrew. Princess Mia Ramos. Driving in the car with Mia is math teacher, Mr. West. Mia will be escorted by her father, Sotero Ramos. Her mother, Maria, and brother are also in attendance tonight. During her 4 years at Bonita, Mia has been involved in CSF, yearbook, NHS, and the APEX program. For her PACE project, she interned with a foster agency and studied social work. Next year, Mia would like to attend UCSD and major in chemistry. Princess Mia Ramos. Princess Tiani Williams. Driving the car with Tiani is social studies teacher, Mr. Meyer. Tiani will be escorted by her father, Tyrone Williams. Her mother, Tracy, and sister are also in attendance tonight. During her 4 years at Bonita, Tiani has been involved in D Street, CSF, and Black Student Union. For her PACE project, she took a college course in human physiology. Next year, Tiani would like to attend UCLA and major in biology. Princess Tiani Williams. Ladies and gentlemen, please pull out your phones and shine your flashlight toward the field and create a disco ball for our princesses. Drumline, if we could please get a drum roll. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2022 homecoming queen is Trinity Carroll. Carroll, if you would please give the crowd one last wave. And if your father could escort you back to the Corvette, you can take one more trip around the track.
Ladies and gentlemen, high school football fans, welcome back to Bonita High School at Glenn Davis Stadium for tonight's Thursday night homecoming football game for the hometown Bonita Bearcats, taking on the 73rd ranked team in California, league rival, the Ayala Bulldogs. Ayala jumped out to an early 28-0 lead before Bonita was able to score their first touchdown of the night. 2 touchdowns in the first half, highlighted by a pick 6, and 2 touchdowns then in the second half, highlighted by an 81-yard pass from Brian Wilson to Elijah Ibanez, put Ayala up 28-0. A 2-yard pass completed from Andrade, Daniel Andrade, the senior quarterback, to senior wideout Georgie Markosian, put Bonita on the board about close to the end of the second quarter. I'm Nate Rodriguez alongside Billy Lopez, bringing to you tonight's action from Glenn Davis Stadium. Billy, the Bearcats were a little flat in the first half, but showed signs of improving as we inch towards halftime. A pass there from Andrade to Connor Spina picks up the first down. What's the key to the Bearcats' success here in the second half?
Number one is protect the ball. Obviously turn the ball over too many times in the first half. And then more Spina, as we saw here on the first play, picks up 12 yards and a first down. If they could score on this drive, that would be huge. Potentially a 2-point conversion gets them halfway back from a 28-0 deficit.
Spina is one of the total yards leaders for this Bearcats program. Andrade, a pass to his right, but his target brought down before the line of scrimmage. A tackle for loss. Good play by Ayala.
Yeah, it looked to be a screen pass over there to the right of Andrade. Didn't pan out the way. Block's going to get down. Ayala, great job getting there. Here comes a blitz.
Andrade trying to avoid the pass rush. Now scrambles to his right. Looks for an open target over the middle. There's Spina, sure enough. Brought down after a gain of about 6. Good job by Andrade to use his eyes, scope out down the field, and find Spina over the middle.
Blitz came in on the right end. Almost all of the players moved out towards the left. Fortunately for Andrade, who doesn't really like escaping the pocket, not as mobile as you'd expect, got out there and found him.
Spina coming into this game had 8 games played under his belt this season, 77 carries to lead the Bearcats offense, and also had 9 catches. Has 2 touchdown catches as well as he runs the ball here up the middle and is good enough for the first down.
Another 5-man rush right there. Picked up. Spina got through. Picked up enough right there on a big third down to keep the chains moving.
Spina, 6'1", 240-pound senior running back, has been doing a lot of the heavy lifting for Bonita. A trio of receivers to Daniel Andrade's left, and he'll hand it off to Spina again, but this time the defense reading the play real easy. Tackle made by senior Jonathan Fuentes.
Good textbook tackle right there, wrapping up both legs and not letting Spina move.
28-6, Ayala leads with just over 9 minutes to play in the third quarter here from Glenn Davis Stadium. Noah McHale lining up close to the near sideline. Another trio of receivers to Andrade's right. This time the senior quarterback drops back and able to find Spina on a screen pass. Spina has plenty of room to move. A little bit of a change of direction and is brought down inside the red zone, close to the 10. First down, Bearcats.
Big time play once again. Blitz picked up. They find Spina in the open field down the left sideline here on the Bonita home side. Picked up a block from Noah McHale. Injured Bulldog down there within the 15-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 in the red zone for this Bonita Bearcats offense.
And Spina moving like a freight train down the field as one of the Bulldogs players now has his helmet removed, trying to recompose himself out with the assistance of a few athletic trainers. That was Enrique Ibanez, the senior, down on the play. Ibanez had a touchdown catch north of 80 yards earlier in this ballgame, an 81-yard pass with just about 4 minutes left to play in the first half. Ibanez made the score 27-0 Ayala as he comes off the field momentarily with the Ayala training staff. Clock was stopped after the play as McHale is returning to the line of scrimmage. The rest of the Bearcats will follow. Looks like Ibanez's towel is still down there on the field close to the 10-yard marker.
Guess they're going to leave it.
Play over it. 8:45 left in the third quarter. Andrade calls for the snap. Hands off to Spina. Spina sees a hole on his left. Dives for the 10-yard line. Is able to pick up perhaps a couple of yards.
Dove right next to that towel. Officials will finally gather it right there. Scoop it up.
2nd down and 8 from the 10-yard line. Just the second time tonight Bonita has been in the red zone. In that first opportunity, Daniel Andrade threw it away for a pick six.
Watch for Bradshaw here on play action.
Right over the middle, Andrade. Another questionable pass play. Looked like a bit of hesitation from the intended target. Andrade almost threw it right into the Bulldogs' hands.
And that was Bradshaw right there, the intended target.
Bradshaw, one of the homecoming princes for Bonita High School, celebrated here tonight. The homecoming queen was announced during halftime. Trinity Carroll, senior at Bonita High School, coming away with the homecoming queen honors. Carroll, a friend of LVTV3, she interned for the channel during her high school career. Congratulations to Miss Carroll. 28-6, Ayala leads. 8 minutes left in the third quarter as the Bonita defense looks to the sideline, trying to get the play call from co-head coaches Steve Bogan and Bo Beatty.
Homecoming queen interned with Claudia Gonzalez, producer tonight.
A close-knit family. Andrade takes a snap and drops back. Has an open target in the end zone. It's Bradshaw. Touchdown, Bearcats.
Nate, the reason why I said look out for Bradshaw is because he's been the guy that's been able to find some opening space inside this Ayala Bulldogs defense. Montenegro, Markosian, and McHale have been locked up pretty tightly, and Bradshaw has been able to wiggle his way through, and they're wide open on a simple route moving towards the pylons, towards the far side to the right side of Andrade.
Point after attempt is up and good this time for Alexander Laguna. Laguna now 1 for 2 on point after attempts tonight. Bradshaw able to divert the attention away from the other receivers out there for Bonita, picks up the extra 6 points for the Bearcats. Ayala scored all their touchdowns in bunches. Now Bonita trying to claw their way back. It's 28-13, just under 8 minutes in the third.
Offense did their job. Defense needs to come up here. They scored on that first drive here in the second half. Have cut it now to a 2-possession game. Got to get 7 plus a 2-point conversion.
We've talked a lot about how Ayala has taken advantage of the Bonita mistakes so far tonight. Now if Bonita can play a clean second half and add pressure to the Ayala offense, it would be big for Bonita to start taking advantage of the Bulldogs' mistakes in reverse order.
All right, did that player have Velcro on or something?
I don't know. Kickoff
was vacuumed up.
Skipped like a stone, and that was kind of the perfect description. Vacuumed up by the Ayala offense. Ball is down just before Ayala's own 45-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 44 as Brian Wilson leads the Bulldogs back out.
Yeah. Looked to be more of like a squib attempt there to prevent some of the playmakers to run anything back, but set up Ayala with great field positioning here.
Bonita defense needs to come through big on this Ayala drive. They'll hand it off to Jacob Munoz, who takes it to the far sideline and picks up a few yards.
Munoz has had a great first half. Now in the second half, continuing to pile on some yardage on the ground for the Bulldogs.
Cycling into the Ayala offensive scheme with sophomore running back Anthony Hernandez. Munoz has picked up a lot of yards on the ground for Ayala so far. Wilson calls for the snap. Play action pass will roll to his right. Has an open receiver over the middle. They connect. That's Alloway making his way down the field. A good block for Ayala. Clears the lane for Alloway to come through and score another touchdown, Bulldogs. Dominic Alloway, a big night here tonight, trying to play spoiler to Bonita's homecoming. Already has a pick six earlier in this game, now able to take it to the house there to increase Ayala's lead 34-13.
Yeah, defensive touchdown and an offensive touchdown for Dominic Alloway. I need to call him Dominant Alloway.
All the way.
Oh, he got 2 puns on both of his names right there.
Right?
I like it.
Got to get crafty up in the booth. Point after attempt is up and good. It's now a 22-point differential between these two teams. Still a 3-possession game. Bonita not completely out of it just yet, but Ayala trying to add on to the scoreboard and find that dagger sooner rather than later.
Defensively, it's been missed tackles, missed opportunities. We saw Ibanez in the first half for the Bulldogs break a few tackles near the sideline and got to the house. And then here, all the way, obviously picking up a nice block. Potential missed opportunities for the Bearcats there on the sideline, on the home sideline, and then breaking it into the house again.
The Bearcats needed a big stop, didn't get it. It'll be up to the offense to come back out and produce. Another short kick, this time from Ayala. Bonita will field it at about the 35. Adrian McCoy brought down, and Daniel Andrade will take back over.
Well, now you got to put up points. Got to continue to do that there.
Took Ayala only 2 plays to score that last touchdown, getting their scores up on the board quickly. It'll be 1st and 10 from Bonita's own 36-yard line. Bearcats offense coming out of the huddle, trying to get it all together. Andrade struggled in the first half, has led the Bearcats to a touchdown already here in the third quarter, but the Bonita defense hasn't helped out. Senior puts the offense in motion. Markosian ravaging down the field. Spina with the catch is brought down in front of the 50.
Spina has been phenomenal for Bonita tonight. Absolutely what you needed. And yes, he's been an instrumental part of the offense, but going into today's game, you probably didn't highlight him as being the standout player to watch for tonight.
Right. Absolutely. You had Markosian, the leading receiver for this team. Noah McHale, who attracts all the attention from scouts. Andrade trying to just find the parts of the offense that are going to work for him tonight. Connects for a pass. That's good for a first down and more. McHale able to stay on his feet, break several tackles. Is pushed out of bounds near the 20-yard line. A big pickup by arguably Bonita's best player.
Got to give it to your playmakers. Give them an opportunity to pick up yards after the catch, and that's what McHale did right there, breaking 2 tackles on that one.
McHale, naturally a defensive lineman, is used on both sides of the ball by this Bonita team, rather. Picking up part of a key play there. Andrade with time, tries to avoid the pass rush, but throws it low, intended for Jaden Montenegro.
You had McHale going on a short slant towards the left of Andrade. He was wide open for a second there. Elected to go up top to the right.
Couple of Bearcat mascots making their way over to the den, trying to hype up this hometown crowd. 2nd and 10 from the 23-yard line, just outside the red zone the Bearcats are. Andrade drops back and looks down the field towards the end zone. Did he reel that in? He did! Touchdown, Bearcats! What do you say there? Jaden Montenegro, an over-the-shoulder diving catch. Sprawling out, full extension to reel that one in. The touchdown for Bonita makes it 35-19.
Spectacular grab by Montenegro. Exactly what you need from one of your top transfers out of South Hills High School coming into today. 8 receptions for 93 yards. Picks up his 2nd receiving touchdown for the Bearcats now on this year.
And that'll be one to remember for sure. Quite a display of athleticism from Montenegro. The point after attempt is up and good. 2 for 3 on the night goes Laguna so far. And the score now back into a 2-possession game, 35-20. The Bulldogs still leading.
Got to give credit to Andrade on the throw right there too. Yes, it was a spectacular grab, but Andrade put it right where Montenegro needed it in order to make that play.
Having trust in all of his receivers, Andrade trying to overcome a tough first half in which he threw 3 interceptions and the ball was fumbled twice. Now the Bearcats still trying to claw their way back offensively. Still a lot to count on the defense to try and hold Ayala where they're at. The kick is fielded by Dominic Alloway. Alloway crafty with his feet, trying to change directions and juke out the Bonita defense, but is brought down about the 25.
Defense needs to hold up here. Definitely need to get a stop here. Fans right in front of us obviously know exactly what we're saying up here too.
It's been the theme of the night, Ayala taking advantage of Bonita's mistakes, but Bonita cleaning up their play on the gridiron. 1st and 10 from Ayala's own 25-yard line as McHale looks to set up the Bonita defense in the backfield. Wilson calls for the snap, hands it off to Munoz. Good blocks by the Ayala line, but only a gain of about 2.
And just what the doctor ordered. Looks to be pretty much spot on to what they did in the last drive. Nate, it was 2 plays, 36 seconds, and a touchdown. They got a short gain like that, play action pass, and then a touchdown pass.
There will be another injury timeout as it looks like one of the members of the Ayala O-line is down on the field near the 30-yard line.
Not what you want to see. This O-line has been probably one of the best O-lines in Southern California in this Ayala Bulldogs team. One of the main reasons why they can run the ball so well. O-line creates a lot of opportunities and gives their quarterback Wilson a lot of time in the pocket to find their receivers.
Looks like that is perhaps Andrew Slater down there on the field. Slater, a 6'1 senior, listed at 285. It's being tended to by the Ayala training staff, but looks to get up on his own 2 feet. It was not Slater. Matter of fact, that's Joseph Lopez, the senior center, who will come off the field momentarily. Clock was stopped at 5 minutes, 41 seconds for the injury timeout. We look to resume play now with the clock ticking. 2nd and 6 from the 29-yard line. Ayala trying to pick up the first down.
Now you got Jeremy Goebel in at center. Sometimes you could have a little bit of miscues when you get a new center up in there.
We'll see what it means for both of these teams. Bonita with a big stop to the run game right there. Again, just what the doctor ordered.
You know, we don't have the stats here, but the Bulldogs have been really impressive on third down conversions tonight. Bearcats need to get a stop right here and get the ball back right away.
Momentum swings have certainly affected this game back and forth. For Bonita, it's been more of a hindrance to lose the ball and turn it over to Ayala. Ayala capitalizing when they can. Bonita looking for a big play here. Ayala stacks the offensive line and is able to protect Jacob Munoz as the senior running back is able to flood the far sideline and pick up the first down. What do you know? Another third down conversion, right, Billy?
And they've been butter on those. And last two plays, they've changed their formation. Instead of a spread offense there, they go inside, bring in a couple more tight ends. Just about everyone thought they were going to run it up the middle again, break off outside, pick up the 6 yards that they need.
1st and 10 from the 36-yard line. Less than 5 minutes to play in the third quarter from Glenn Davis. Brian Wilson handed it off for a very short gain.
Could be a smart decision, too. What we also notice now is ever since Lopez, the first-string center, has been out of the game and Gobble has come in to take over for the injury, we've seen this new formation, but we have an easier transfer. Instead of coming out of the shotgun, we're seeing Wilson go underneath the center and make sure that there's kind of a little bit of a rhythm. And now first time he'll take it here out of the shotgun, more traditional offensive spread for the Bulldogs.
Third play with a new center for Ayala. 3:50 on the clock, 2nd and 8 from the 32. Wilson takes the snap, a pass play looking down the field. He airs it out, looks like he has Alloway, and sure enough, Dominic Alloway, the senior receiver for the Bulldogs. A highlight night, brought down in front of the 20-yard line, inside the red zone, goes Ayala.
Yeah, Parker Smith looks to be like he got the wind knocked out of him right there. Got beat by Alloway, but was able to make the tackle there. Otherwise, Alloway was going to go in for a second receiving touchdown there.
Big pass play there from Ayala, puts them in pristine field position. 1st and 10 from the 19 as Wilson drops back, trying to avoid the pass rush. Has another target wide open on the near sideline. It's Alloway with a fancy toe touch to keep it in bounds. Boy, it's a shame we don't have stats because Alloway would just be running up all the numbers.
Absolutely. It would be interesting to see once everything gets posted.
Alloway comes off the field with a slight hobble. Looks like
and Lopez back in under center there.
Returning from injury, Joseph Lopez, as Billy mentioned, back under center. Run play for Ayala. Munoz brought down about the 10.
Third and short here.
3rd and 1, under 3 minutes now in the third quarter. Bonita could use another big stop here to force 4th down, but
Gonna bring him back right there. Munoz a little too antsy right there on the false start.
as a result, he's taken off the field for Anthony Hernandez. The penalty brings the Bulldogs back just a bit. 3rd and 7 for Ayala from Bonita's 16-yard line. A little bit of a break there for the Bearcats defense, still needing that big stop, trying to hold the Bulldogs to 3 at most. Brian Wilson, the junior quarterback, sets the offense in motion, is able to find a target over the middle on the slant route. That's L'Italian Payne II.
And with Dominic Alloway out of the game momentarily right now, he obviously the number 1 target. L'Italian Payne II does become the number 2 target for quarterback Brian Wilson.
Able to find him there, bring the Bulldogs even closer. Now it's 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. This Bonita defense trying to find any way to stop Ayala from making the promised land once again. 4 touchdowns for Ayala in the first half, 2 in each quarter, 1 here in the third, knocking on the door of their 4th. Another run play up the middle, but not quite able to get there.
Yeah, just a bit short right there.
You see there people coming up out of the pile. Looks like we might have another injury timeout. This time it's one of the Bearcats. Tough to spot which Bearcat that is, being tended to by the Bonita training staff. 1:25 left in the third quarter. Ayala on that play able to bring it to the 1-yard line. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 1 when we pick back up, but a little bit longer of an injury timeout here.
Looking for their 6th touchdown of the night.
Haven't even gotten to the 4th.
I tell you, we saw during halftime as well the homecoming queen crowned, but also we saw the 4 senior athletic trainers honored at halftime as well. And you're getting their money's worth tonight.
Right, getting their work in for sure. It's not just the seniors on the football team, not just the seniors on the cheer squad, but the seniors on the athletic training staff as well. And, well, you got to include everybody, and those are the most important people you think about on a day-to-day basis, tending to your children if you're a parent at home watching, to your friend if you're supporting these Bearcats, to these players if you're a human being.
It's Patrick Dabney, the injured Bearcat. It's always good when you're able to see the players get up and be able to walk off on their own strength.
Dabney, a senior lineman, 6 foot even, 250. The Bearcats will be without him here as the Bulldogs go for it on 2nd and goal from the 1. Inside handoff by the Bulldogs, able to jump into the end zone. Touchdown Ayala. Luke Roshi. Pardon me, excuse me. Elijah Ibanez for Ayala, his 2nd touchdown of the game. 1 receiving touchdown, 1 rushing touchdown, makes it 41-20 Bulldogs. Little over 70 seconds in the third quarter left to play.
In third quarter, more of a shootout, back-to-back. Offensives have been able to score, defense not be able to hold up on either side. In fact, Bonita has been able to score on their last 3 consecutive drives. If you take away the drive that was cut short with the 20 seconds where Andrade takes the knee.
Production from the offense has been there, but the defense having a hard time slowing down these Bulldogs, who are in hungry pursuit of that 8th win on the season and a 2nd place finish in the Mountain West League. Bonita came into this game 6-3, was on a 5-game win streak before running into the Charter Oak Chargers, who won a 45-42. That game was a shootout on a last-minute field goal for the win. Out for the kick, Nick Lane, the junior, for the Bulldogs. A trio of Bearcats back to receive it. It'll be Joe Parra with the catch. Brings it just inside the 20 as Ayala brings him down.
Just checking around the Mountain West League here. Charter Oak currently leading Alta Loma 42-10 at the end of the third quarter. So it looks to be as if the Charter Oak Chargers going to have an undefeated season throughout preseason and in league to a Mountain West title.
No losses for the Charter Oak Chargers. The Mountain West title in their hands for the 2022-2023 season. Now the Bearcats trying to crawl from behind and steal second place away from the Bulldogs. That's how it looks right now. If the score were to keep up, Ayala would take second place. Andrade and the Bearcats trying to do something about it as he connects with Georgie Markosian for a few yards.
Yeah, the offense has been looking a little bit better. Andrade being able to find more of his receivers. Obviously, putting a little bit more emphasis on Bradshaw has helped because Bulldogs now need to account for him, and that's opened up a little bit more plays for Montenegro and now Markosian there on the first down reception.
Using Spina with the run here. He's swallowed up by two Bulldogs. Tried to stay on his feet in an effort to pick up the first down, but comes up short.
A little gimpy, too, for Spina.
You got to monitor him closely, but it's hard to take him out of this game when he's been, as you mentioned, so instrumental to this offense tonight. Andrade stepping up a little bit, has an open receiver down the field, and they connect. Jaden Montenegro brought down near the 45. First down, Bearcats.
Exactly why they brought him here to Bonita, to make big plays, and back-to-back big plays on the past two drives. The touchdown reception on the dive, and now nice one there, sets them up just past midfield.
Despite a couple of questionable pass decisions from Andrade, he's trusted Montenegro to reel those in. There he goes to Markosian, who takes on the hit from Ayala almost immediately. A pickup of about maybe 4 yards. That play brings us to the end of the third quarter. Ayala able to score a couple times here in the third quarter. 42-20 at the end of 3. We look ahead to the final quarter from Glenn Davis Stadium. It's homecoming night for the Bonita Bearcats football team. You're watching LVTV 3, Laverne Community Television. The final 12 minutes from Glenn Davis Stadium. I'm Nate Rodriguez alongside Billy Lopez, bringing to you Bonita's homecoming football game tonight. Handoff up the middle. Bonita electing to someone other than Kana Spina for a rush. Able to pick up the first down and more, inching close to the red zone.
The first time we see Cole Para really make some offensive gain there. We see him in for Spina. Did mention that Spina did look a little off on that last play.
Para utilized there to key efficiency. Para has 72 carries coming into this game for well over 300 yards. Able to pick up the first down and more on that last play. Now it's about 2nd and 10 from the 21 again. Andrade in Para's ear. Sets the offense in motion. Markosian trying to block for his quarterback. Andrade looking toward the end zone. Intended target was Bradshaw. No flag thrown on the play. Pass was overthrown.
Bradshaw looked to turn around a little too early. I think if he would have kept running his route, would have had a great opportunity to make that catch and put up 6 for the Bearcats. Unfortunately, kind of got twisted a little bit out of the reach.
The senior wide receiver, a two-sport athlete at Bonita High School, also plays on the baseball field, going after that one like an outfielder, chasing a fly ball over his head, just couldn't quite get there. Andrade again looking deeper towards the end zone. Pass is thrown into traffic, almost picked off by Ayala again. Andrade was almost picked off for a 4th time.
Threw into triple coverage on that play right there. That brings up 4th and 10. Obviously need the points now in the 4th quarter with 10:48 remaining. I'd have to go for it here.
Bonita put in a tough position now. 10:48 remaining in the 4th as the Bearcats take a timeout. It's 4th and 10 from the 21-yard line. All 4 plays have been from this spot so far. Bonita needs to score here, needs to at least pick up the 1st down and keep the ball with them. Of course, a score would be ideal, but keeping the ball out of Ayala's hands, perhaps the number 1 goal.
Bringing in the field goal unit here, Nate.
Ball is spotted at the 21-yard line. It'll be up to Alexander Laguna to try to pick up 3 here. Markoshian with the hold. Kick is not good. Laguna 0 for 1 on field goal attempts tonight. The Bearcats trying to go for 3 on 4th down, couldn't come up with it.
Don't really understand the decision to go for 3 right there. You get 3 points, you're still down 3 possessions with a 19-point deficit if you do get the field goal. I get it if you're down, still potential 2-possession game. It gets you within 16 with 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions, but
you got to play big, right? I mean, you're chasing. A 3-possession game, 22 points. The differential between Ayala and Bonita. The Bulldogs will pick it back up from the same 21-yard line in their own territory. Brian Wilson and company, with the help of Jacob Munoz and Dominic Alloway, have been controlling the night. An inside handoff to Munoz up the middle, picking up a couple. Ayala has not lost on the road this year, a 7-2 record overall. The Bulldogs are 3-0 when they start the buses up. Looking to be 4-0 if the score holds. As you mentioned, Charter Oak having pretty much secured the Mountain West League title for this season, but the Bulldogs have their eyes on the 2nd place prize.
pretty close at a potential 1st place bid for the Bulldogs too. Just the 3-point loss to Charter Oak.
Big tackle there from Noah McHale, able to stay with Munoz. Now Munoz shaken up on the lower half. An effective tackle by the sophomore lineman.
Up by three possessions here. The Bulldogs already have chewed off just about 2 minutes of clock, and so even if they get a 3 and out here, gotta say it's a good possession for them.
No Munoz for the Bulldogs. Instead, Anthony Hernandez, the sophomore, in at running back. Munoz shaken up from the McHale tackle as Ayala will take a timeout. Less than 10 minutes to play from Glenn Davis Stadium, a 3-possession game. 3rd and 9 from the 22-yard line when we return. Brian Wilson and the Bulldogs looking to add more. Coming back from timeout, 9 minutes and 14 seconds on the clock. Ayala, 3rd and 9 from the 22. Brian Wilson, a pair of receivers to his right, one off to his left. That's Payne the second. Instead, Wilson throws right, connects with Drew Amico, the junior wideout. Brought down out of bounds before the first down.
Charter Oak finishes it off against Altaloma, 42-10 final, finishing a regular season at 10-0.
A dominant season from the Chargers. Beat both of these teams by only 3 points. Bonita surrendering a last-minute field goal to lose to the Chargers on 4th and 1. Timeout Ayala with 8:23 on the clock. So back-to-back timeouts in 60 seconds time. 4th and 1 from the 29. Ayala will go over the play calling real quick in a 3-possession game. And so the second timeout has come to an end. 8:23 on the game clock. 42-20 the Bulldogs lead. I'm Nate Rodriguez alongside Billy Lopez, bringing to you Bonita High School's homecoming football game on this Thursday evening, October 27th. Punt attempt from Ayala takes a bounce just past the 50, and the Bulldogs will mark it down for Bonita at about the 37. It'll take quick work for Bonita to officially make this comeback, needing at least 3 touchdowns while holding Ayala to nothing to try to make something of this game. Just over 8 minutes left to play. Bonita trying to hang on.
Spina back in.
Feeling better after coming up a little hobbly a few minutes ago. Pass to Georgie Markoshian. Breaks the tackle, stays on his feet, and dives for a few extra yards. Pickup of about 4. Now under 8 minutes to play. 2nd and 7 down at the 41-yard line. Andrade, a pair of receivers on each side, sets Bradshaw in motion.
Bradshaw wide open.
Pass rush by the Bulldogs. Bradshaw was wide open, calling for the ball, but Andrade still able to connect with the receiver near the far sideline to pick up the first down. That's Jaden Montenegro.
They get a big play there, but man, if they run that play again, Bradshaw is wide open, could pick up a block from Markosian there. That's a potential touchdown pass.
Was wide open. No one in the same vicinity, in the same area code as Bradshaw. Saw him calling for the pass. Came up a little bit frustrated, but still an opportunity for another. Andrade not even looking his way this time. Trying to make a quick pass in and out of the hands of his intended receiver. Just over 7 minutes left to play here from Bonita High School. 2nd and 10 from the 36-yard line. Andrade, the trio of receivers to his right. That's Markoshian, Bradshaw, and Montenegro. McHale out to his left, but he'll hand it off to Spina. Able to pick up just a couple.
Spina's pretty strong right there. David Saravia, the defensive tackle for Ayala, was just trying to pry that football loose. And Spina, just one hand on it, was able to just keep it tight, protect it.
Good ball handling skills from The senior running back, Andrade, dropping back, trying to get rid of it before the pass rush hits, and he throws it away. His 4th interception of the game, picked off by the Bulldogs as Nathan Arachiga steps out of bounds just next to the 40-yard line, and that right there might have been the dagger. Andrade, not a good night offensively. Perhaps last time he takes the field here at Bonita High School, throwing his 4th interception here in the 4th quarter.
Definitely not the story that you wanted to ride up if you were Daniel Andrade for the 3-star recruit.
Likely to have at least one more shot at it before the end of this ball game. 1st and 10 from the 42-yard line as Ayala takes over with 6.5 left to play in the ball game. A big tackle there by John Colson. A tackle for loss sets Ayala back.
And for the Bulldogs, Nate, undefeated on the road, 4-0, going 8-2, 2nd place in the Mountain West, 3 points away from a potential league title. Top 100 team in California. They got big things on their minds as Selection Sunday is just a few days away and CIF playoffs start up.
A very decorated season for the Bulldogs. That 3-point game against Charter Oak, the only blemish really on their season, if you can call it that, still hanging tough with arguably one of the best teams in the area, the Chargers, finishing that this season a 10-0 perfect record. Just over 5 minutes from this one left to play, though. 3rd and 7 from the 45. Wilson trying to settle the offense. Hands it off to Hernandez. A nice spin move, is able to break the tackle, inching closer toward the 1st down. Awaiting the call from the referee.
It'll be 4th and 1. What should have been about 4th and 7 comes 4th and 1 as Hernandez was able to break off that tackle. It was like almost parallel with the ground at one point and somehow, some way broke loose.
You're absolutely right. Bonita got to Hernandez almost off the bat, but a nice spin move, able to break the tackle. The sophomore staying on his feet for an extra 6 yards. Brought down by Noah McHale just before the 1st. They'll hand it back to Hernandez, and this time he's plenty able to pick up that 1st down and move the chains.
Chains keep moving. Clock keeps ticking.
The Bonita defense looking a little defeated. We've reached the 4-minute mark, now ticking back under it. Ayala taking their time, gathering the play call from the sidelines. Brian Wilson has controlled this offense very dynamically. The Bulldogs firing on all cylinders on both sides of the ball. Their special teams unit performing particularly well tonight. An inside handoff to Hernandez. The sophomore breaks 2-3 tackles, is brought down at the Bonita 40.
Yeah, they always talk about for football 3 aspects of the game: special teams, offense, and defense. Special team got them going early on the kickoff return. Or on the kickoff, actually. Kickoff return for Bonita got them pinned down at the half-yard line. Obviously, the easy pick 6 for Alloway. Alloway obviously carrying that into the offensive side. And then defensively, 4 takeaways. Andrade, the senior quarterback, 4 interceptions. Really dominated Bonita on all sides of those.
Bonita with a couple fumbles as well. That sequence of plays, as you mentioned, that kickoff that left Bonita at the half-yard line was really what started separating these two teams on this Thursday evening. That pick six subsequently right after put the Bearcats in a hole as Ayala is now at third down with less than 2.5 to play. Third down and 3 from the Bonita 39-yard line. 42-20 the score here from Glenn Davis Stadium. The Bulldogs ahead of the Bearcats. Bonita trying to keep the score where it's at. Mentioned Ayala has 3 games with more than 40 points this year. The most they've scored came against Glendora on September 29th, a 56-33 win. Hernandez is swallowed up on this play. That's a big tackle from Parker Smith. First time he's really gotten involved tonight, the senior defensive back.
Loss of about 6 or 7 on that one right there. Brings it 4th and long.
You can smell Hernandez from a mile away.
Guess they give some forward progress there. Only loss of about 3. 4th and about 6.
Scoreboard says 4th and 5, but I like where you were headed. 4th and 5 from the 42. Wilson and the Bulldogs walking almost all the way over to their sideline, just eating time off the clock like it's no one's business. It really isn't anyone's. They take the delay of game and will be pushed back 5 yards, picking up from the 47 with just over 60 seconds. Ayala with 1 timeout remaining in the ball game. Bonita has 2 of their own. On 4th and 11, the Bulldogs will punt it. Back to field it is Para, but the Bulldogs will mark it down inside the 10-yard line.
Nate, you mentioned the big win for Ayala against Glendora, 56-33. You know, speaking of Glendora, taking a look at the news here, South Hills is able to, well, not official yet, but they do have a 41-20 point lead against Glendora. Yeah, very similar here. And in that league, it's going to end up with a 3-way tie for second place, with South Hills, Glendora, and Los Osos all finishing at 1 and 2. So that means a coin flip's going to punch a ticket for one of them to the playoffs. Tight matchups around all leagues throughout Southern California for high school football.
An interesting year where a lot of games were played on Thursdays as opposed to the normal Friday night lights games across California high schools. A shortage of referees led to that problem. Bonita will hand it off to Cole Para with less than a minute to play. Bonita now just trying to put their final drive together before the night's conclusion. A 3-possession game looks to be how it will end here from Glenn Davis Stadium. Both teams converging toward the line of scrimmage now. 20 seconds on the clock. Perhaps the last play for Bonita on the night. As you see some players shaking hands there at the line, and they'll start walking off.
Impressive on all 3 fronts, as we mentioned throughout the broadcast. The Ayala Bulldogs dominated throughout. Bonita Bearcats, sour taste in their mouth for their homecoming and senior night.
Charter Oak takes the Mountain West League title, finishing 3-0 in league atop the division. Bonita will finish with a 1-2 Mountain West record, finishing 6-4 overall. Ayala 8-2 rather overall, a 2-1 record in the Mountain West League, finishing in second place behind the Chargers. A big night on all three fronts, like you said, Billy, the offense, defense, and special teams for Ayala, executing to a T tonight, taking advantage of Bonita's mistakes. Daniel Andrade throwing 4 interceptions, Bonita with a couple of fumbles, and Ayala just running away with the score, 42-20 from Glenn Davis Stadium. I'm Nate Rodriguez alongside Billy Lopez, bringing you tonight's homecoming action from Glenn Davis Stadium here at Bonita High School. Thank you for tuning in. 42-20 Ayala on LVTV 3, Verne Community Television.